Hi, my name is Nicholas. Welcome to this week's Yin practice. For today's practice, I was just having a couple hard blocks and a soft block, and then anything else you like to have around. And when you're ready, we'll get started down on the back, so you can make your way there any way you like. Awesome. And then once you touch down, we're going to set up for Happy Baby. So option for today to use a soft block underneath the hips, just to help tilt the pelvis and perhaps to make the shape feel a little more restful. You can bring the knees in towards the chest and then separate to catch hold of feet, ankles, or shins. It's still early in the practice, so perhaps it feels better to start somewhere here, and then you can work your way up to having the feet pointing towards the ceiling. If you feel ready to go there straight away, then of course that's fine too. And see if you feel a little fidgety here, maybe a little movement would help you settle in or something like that. If you do feel any pinching, whether it's in the low back or the hips or somewhere else, then you can release to a more gentle version of the shape. When you feel ready, settle in here. Maybe close down the eyes and start to bring your attention to the body. And notice what the body feels like in this shape. Gently release the feet and let them lower down toward the floor. If you have a prop underneath the hips, you can remove it and then see what feels good here. Maybe you want to take feet wide and rest the knees in together. You can pause for a few breaths. If you'd rather take movement, maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. When you feel ready to, you can roll down to one side. And then with the support of the hands, come up towards the seat. And we won't stay. We're going to set up for a toe squat. So you can come straight on in and just check in to see what it feels like for today. Maybe the feet are feeling a little sensitive. If you'd like to take the foot flat to the floor squat with the feet wider apart, then you're welcome to do this as well. You can also do the version where the bum is on the floor. If you are coming with me to toe squat, then you might choose to have a block or a couple blocks nearby just to bring the floor a little closer so you can have the spine upright. And for today, see about taking the knees as far apart as you comfortably can. So listen to your body, but see just where you end up here. And again, if this doesn't work, then feel free to bring the knees a little closer together. Find a upright sense for the spine, maybe a little room across the chest. If things feel wobbly, maybe find a gaze point, something to keep you steady, something that's not moving. Notice sometimes in a more balanced, focused shape, there's a tendency to hold the breath. So see if you can keep that gentle flow. Awesome. From wherever squat or whatever squat you're at, you can bring the fingertips down to the floor, slowly start to extend the legs, and then we'll heel toe the feet nice and wide apart, maybe as wide as the mat. Setting up for a dangling shape, for a wide-legged forward fold. And take a moment just to orient the feet, to find the distance between them that feels the best in your body. And with a yin version of the shape, because we hold it for longer, you're better off finding something that maybe doesn't feel too intense to begin with, because the intensity will always go up the longer you hold it. So you might be in a halfway lift shape here. You can also have your blocks under the hands to bring the floor a little closer. And if you're ready, you can start to let the spine get nice and heavy. Let the head hang low. You can modify your shape any way you need as well. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, notice where you're feeling the stretch and make sure it feels pain-free. A couple other things you could add on. You could take the hands somewhere to the legs. You're welcome to find a bind, maybe interlacing hands behind the back, or you can take the hands to the skull to add a little more weight. And be wherever you need to be. And stay with whatever you're feeling. If you have a bind, you can let that go and come to your halfway lift. And then you can heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. Maybe coming to a squat with the feet flat to the floor. And take a stretch here. Maybe bring the fingertips down, lift the chest up, maybe lift the gaze a little bit. And then when you're ready, you can bring the hands down behind you, lower the bum down to the floor, and take a gentle windshield wiper side to side. Awesome. We're going to set up for fire log pose, sometimes called double pigeon pose. And I'll offer a few options as well if that feels too intense for right now. So we'll start off with the left leg on the bottom. So bring the left shin parallel to that edge of the mat that's in front of you. And then it'll help to have your blocks nearby for this as well. So you might take one block underneath the left knee if it feels like it's floating. And then from here, you'll take the right foot and stack it on top of the left knee, and then see what that feels like. You may have a big gap between the right knee and the left foot, and your other block can fit in nicely there too. If for any reason this doesn't work, I'll also show a one-legged alternative of the shape too. Any more height that you need for the hips or anything like that to feel balanced, then go for it. And you can stay upright the whole time, or I'm going to talk through folding forward. So for that, you can start to bring your weight forward any amount. And if it starts to feel, really intense, that's okay as long as it doesn't feel painful. Make sure it feels sustainable wherever you end up. Finding your pain-free expression, even if you're upright or whether you're folded a little bit or a lot. Maybe close down the eyes. Notice the gentle flow of your breath. Notice the sensations around the pelvis. If you're folded, slowly walk the hands back in and find your upright spine. We'll stay in the shape a little while longer. If you need to release the bottom leg or anything else, then go for it. We'll find a twist here, so you can take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, take the right hand behind you, and then start to turn the chest open towards the right. Notice if either shoulder is climbing up, then see if you can soften it down. If you like to take the gaze over the right shoulder, then go for it. And gently returning back to center. You can take a counter twist over to the opposite side. And then return to midline and delicately release the top leg and release the bottom leg. And see what feels like a nice release, maybe to extend the legs or tap the knees, swish the feet side to side. When you're ready, we'll set that up on the second side. So this time, the right shin parallel to the top edge of the mat, maybe a prop underneath it if it's floating. And then the left ankle on top of the right knee. And again, check in. This side may feel completely different to the first side. So just take it easy. Use your props wherever you need them. Give yourself just a few breaths here to settle in, to see where you want to take the shape. You're welcome to stay upright. Maybe you start to hinge from the hips a little bit, bring the torso forward. Elbows resting on the legs or hands to the floor. And folding any amount, and you can always come back up upright. Gently start to lift yourself back up if you were folded. And come and find your upright spine. And setting for that twist, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. And start to turn your chest open towards the left. And check in here if you need to adjust anything. Gently soften the shoulders. Maybe the gaze over the left shoulder. And gently unravel back to center. And take a counter twist to the opposite side. And when you're ready, you can gently release the top leg and the bottom leg. Maybe lean on the hands and give the feet a swish side to side, tap the knees, any other release that you need here. And when you're ready, you can swing the legs around. We're going to lower it onto the back. Just have at least one of your hard blocks nearby. Once you touch down, just take a moment here to get comfortable. And with the feet roughly underneath your knees, we'll press the feet down, lift the hips just enough that you can slide a block underneath the pelvis. And taking one last stretch here, you can start to extend the legs out in front of you. Make sure that the block feels comfortable where it is. You can always slide it down or up a little bit. Let the feet relax, let them flop any way they like. You can always play with the distance between your 2 feet as well. And see where the arms want to be. They can stay by your sides, or maybe it feels good to take them to the floor overhead. If your arms are overhead, you can bring them down to your sides and gently walk the feet back in, just so you can lift the pelvis and remove the blocks from underneath. And the next shape we'll take is Shavasana, so see what you would like from your shape here. It might feel nice to take butterfly legs, so soles of the feet together, knees open, maybe with a prop underneath the hips. If you'd rather have the legs extended or any other symmetrical pose, then go for it. And see if there's anything else that you need to adjust, or feel free to add an extra layer if it's a little chilly. Get the body nice and comfortable, whatever shape you've chosen. Find your stillness and your rest. Gently deepen the breath. If you're with me in butterfly, then you can reach down to gently guide the knees back together. And taking the feet wide, resting the knees in, maybe the hands on the body somewhere. And take a few deep breaths here. When you feel ready, you can roll down onto one side and take a pause for a breath or two. Eventually making your way up to any comfortable seated position using any of the props that you have around. And take these last few moments of your practice to check back in with the body. Notice the gentle flow of your breath. Perhaps connecting the hands at the heart and bowing the chin in towards the chest. Thank you for sharing your breath in your practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for yin practice. And my name is Nicholas. If you have any questions, please reach out and enjoy the rest of your day.